I think one of the biggest mistakes or challenges we maybe come across is that people start on a process, everyone's really excited to get going, they start making decisions, they start designing a building, they start implementing their service change and what that looks like without having done some of the early steps if they're doing a business case process. And then halfway, a quarter of the way along that journey, people tend to get switched on to the fact that they will need a business case. So I think our biggest advice would be to try and follow the process from the beginning. It's not a writing exercise. It's not getting to the end of a process and then thinking, oh my goodness, we've got to remember everything we did, every decision we made, every conversation we had about something, and getting it down and documenting it. Your business case should be getting developed iteratively, that you're recording it as you go along, you're following that framework. And one of the things we'll talk about further again in the process is that it's revisited. It isn't just written as a component put on the shelf and forgotten about. You're constantly re-asking yourself a lot of similar questions, which again, it's one of the, I think when we sometimes come in to help people, it does feel like we're pulling them backwards and asking questions that have already been answered. But that is just about constantly revisiting to make sure, has anything changed since you started on this process? A business case can be 2-3 years long if it's a big capital investment, and it is just checking what has changed and does actually change what the outcome should be. The other thing to note in here, I think one of our key questions was about approvals. So I think while we're talking about timing, I think it's really good to know from the outset who is going to be approving your business case and understanding from them how much they want to be involved in that. So some people, some organisations might have a very strict set of protocols in terms of their involvement when they want to see component parts, about having it peer reviewed, and working almost with you to get to an approval at the end. Some might be very happy for you to go away, do your work and then present it back to them at the end. But I think a really important early engagement is to know who's going to review it and what their expectation is. And generally they'll probably be able to give you some support as well, either by previous examples or any internal guidance they can offer. And looking at if there's anything that they need to know that's not covered in the general guidance. Obviously the framework covers a variety of sectors, it covers lots of different projects, processes. It can't possibly tell you everything that needs to go in content-wise. So some organisations might have requirements that seem to be over and above. And again, it's worth picking those up and knowing what they are early so you don't get caught out at the end.